Hi, everyone. My name is Ruby Powers, a board-certified immigration attorney with Powers Law Group, and today we're going to talk about asylum law updates, what's changes and what it means for you, and what do you need to do now. It is mid-May 2026, and so things can change. Stay on top of it. Always seek an immigration attorney for advice on this matter. This doesn't take the place of legal advice. This is more information. As I mentioned, board certified, been practicing 17 plus years, law firm 16 plus years old, and I'm also the American Immigration Lawyers Association, Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma chapter secretary, amongst other things. But let's go ahead and dive into this. One other key interesting fact is I think we've represented individuals from about 45 countries for asylum. So we've been doing this quite a while, affirmatively and defensively. Affirmative means before asylum office, and defensive means before immigration court. So these are some of the themes that are going on right now in mid-May 2026. New fees, there's been a hold on asylum, then it released on some countries, some of the court rule changes, work permit, and what you need to know. So asylum is basically past persecution or fear of future persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. And even race and religion, nationality, political opinion, some of those things can be defined through case law. And so when decisions are made by the courts, help define what that really means. Now, if you're granted, you can live and work in the U.S. and apply for legal permanent residency. In fact, you can apply for legal permanent residency right after you're granted, but they cannot approve it until 1 year has passed of you in the country. And the benefit of being approved asylum is that you can also have asylum for your spouse who was married at the time of the adjudication, as well as your unmarried children under 21 that were included on your application as well. If the family lives somewhere else, you can do what's called an I-730, a follow to join. And that could also be a little complicated if they are from a country that has a ban. But everything I'm saying is general information, because in these days and times, you really need to have a consultation for your specific situation at that moment. So asylum, you need to be in the U.S. It's for any nationality. If you have more than one nationality, you'd be applying for asylum from both countries. For example, if it was, I don't know, Angola and Portugal, then you'd have to prove that you can't go to either country, which could be difficult. So keep that in mind. Affirmative is with asylum office. There's several of them around the country that have different jurisdiction. You can find out which one for where you live. There's some maps. You can figure that out. And then defensive is before immigration judge. It's important to apply within 1 year of entry. There are some exceptions. You cannot have certain criminal convictions can be a bar that keeps you from being able to have asylum, and then you might only be able to have withholding of removal or convention against torture, for example. Firm resettlement is a bar in the fact that if you were offered some type of status somewhere else in another country, you might not be allowed to apply for asylum or receive asylum in the United States. And safe third country, if you can prove there's somewhere else, if they can, that you pass through some other country, this could keep you. And this is more of an issue for those who entered, is it between, I think, May 2023 and 2025, for circumventing lawful pathways, but that gets a little complex as well. So there's a lot of things under pressure, this whole system, between having to pay for filing fees, there was a hold on all of the affirmative asylum in December 2025, and only certain countries were released from that in March 30th, 2026. So just about a month or so ago. We're seeing a lot of BIA cases restricting asylum law. And then we're also seeing that the work authorizations are getting shorter. Instead of 5 years, I believe it's 18 months. And you don't get the automatic extension when you file. And so you're waiting around for it to come in the mail. So everything has gotten a lot more strict, a lot more onerous and difficult. So about the filing fee, starting May 29th, USCIS will direct pending asylum applications from those who fail to pay the annual fee. So this annual fee started coming out last year. So the filing fee is now $100 due at filing. There's the annual fee that you pay regularly, 102, and then there's the BIA appeal if you were to do an appeal, but that fee is also going up as well. So this is the other thing you have to note is that they're not taking checks anymore. You either have to have a credit card or ACH, and they fill out the form for that. That's made it more difficult as well for some people who don't have those banking needs met. Some asylum cases have been frozen and continue to be frozen for the last what is that, like 5 or so months. So USCIS placed a hold on all pending I-589s nationwide beginning December 2025, and then on March 30th they released a partial hold. I will tell you that from the cases that have been coming out, most of the ones we haven't seen an approval yet on cases that I think we're definitely approvable. We've seen people get sent to immigration court, and I've talked with some other attorneys as well, and they haven't seen approvals, and they're seeing referrals to immigration court. So I don't know what's going on, but uh, there's still some delays and pauses for what they quote unquote high risk countries, including Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Haiti, Iran, Libya, and others. But the processing has resumed for a lot of other countries, but we're still seeing, we haven't been seeing a lot of positive results. There's also some changes in the courts. There's a BIA appeal deadline reduction. So there's been, they were trying to get, if you were to lose your asylum in court and you had to file an appeal, they were trying to reduce it down to 10 days. That's been caught in litigation right now. Also, there's there's been some other changes with, CBP1 was discontinued at the beginning of the Trump administration 2.0 in January 2025. But we're also seeing a lot of changes with the Board of Immigration Appeals as well, changing case law right and left. So there's still, you still have rights. There's still asylum relatively exist, but it's not what it looked like a year and a half ago. So there's still the option to apply, and then there's the constructs of asylum relatively still exist, but it has been watered down and etched away down to a lot less. So I would just say have a consultation with an experienced immigration attorney who's staying on top of things on a regular basis, because there are so much change that even preparing this webinar was difficult because of the constant change, which is why we wanted to let you know what day this was recorded. So make sure that you are working with somebody who you trust, that has experience, and just know that we're experiencing this. There's another thing in immigration court. If you happen to have filed the I-589 on your own or with a notario or someone who is an attorney in your home country or something along those lines, do know that that judges have been pre-terminating court cases, asylum cases in immigration court, matter of car. You don't complete the forms fully. So even if you had filled it out, somebody had to fill it out before, if it's not done ridiculously thoroughly, there's might be a chance for it to be pre-terminated. So here at Powers Law Group, we have a lot of experience in immigration and as well as asylum. And we've helped individuals from about 45 or so countries with their asylum matters here in the United States. Affirmatively and defensively, we have cases all over the country, all over courts all over the country. We fly around, we've flown around to other asylum offices as well. So and we speak Spanish, we have interpreters in other languages. We can help you with your asylum matter. So feel free to give us a call at 713-589-2085 for a consultation to evaluate. Even if you filed a long time ago and you're waiting for an interview, we can help prep and attend with you. If you had another attorney and you want to have a second opinion, we can always look at the file and give you a second opinion. But we just wanted to get some information out because there is a lot of change happening. Again, my name is Ruby Powers with Powers Law Group. I hope you find this helpful. Feel free to send to a friend or someone else who's going along with this process, and feel free to give us a call or reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you.